Hey everybody! Today's video is this DIY on how I decorated these glass bottles and made burlap roses. First thing you want to do obviously is paint your bottles. I used a little bit of Mod Podge in the glossy formula and acrylic paint. This color is in Key West. You just want to mix that together with a paintbrush. And I did want to use Mod Podge and not just the paint, just so it stuck to the bottle a little bit better. Then you just want to take your bottle and start from the bottom and work your way up. And I was using Red's Apple Ale beer bottles, and obviously you can use whatever bottle you want. And to take the label off, all you want to do is soak the bottles in hot water for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I just used my nail to peel the label off. And then I had some leftover paint, so I decided to do an ombre effect on one of the bottles. Like I said before, just start at the bottom and work your way up. This time I only went halfway up though. Then you want to take your Mod Podge again, and the second color I used is this orange color in Tiger Lily. I did use a little bit less this time because I only wanted it on one of the bottles. So you just want to mix it up together, and then once again start from the bottom of your bottle and work your way up. And I should say this takes about an hour to dry on the bottles, but during that time I did make my burlap roses, so it worked out perfectly. Then once again, you just want to use your Mod Podge, and then I used this color in Antique White. And I did use a little bit more than the orange, just like I did with the aqua, since I knew I'd be using it on 1.5 of the bottles. Once again, start from the bottom and just work your way up. And for the ombre effect bottle, what you want to do is start about an inch above the aqua color, just so there is not so much concentrated paint on the paintbrush. Then you can go ahead and start working your way down once there is less paint. And that just gives it a really nice and subtle ombre effect, and then just finish off the top of the bottle with that white color. Like I said, these take about an hour to dry, so you can make your burlap roses during this time. To make the burlap roses, I just used this burlap ribbon, and this has wire on both sides. I wanted to make a big rose at first, so I used probably about 2 feet of this. Then you want to undo one of the ends where the wire is. Then you want to take the other end and fold it twice, so when you go to pull the wire, it does not pop out the other end. Once you have done that, you just want to take your wire and then just start to pull the fabric all the way down until it is scrunched up at the other end. And this is just going to help build your rose. And I did wrap the wire around my finger just to make it a little bit easier, especially since I had so much fabric to work with. So you just want to keep pulling and pulling until you get all of the fabric on the other end, and you want to make sure that it is nice and tight. Then once you have all the fabric tied tightly at the other end, you want to take the folded end and just start to roll that bottom until you reach the other end where the wire is. And this is how the rose is created. And then obviously, since there is wire in this ribbon, you can bend it whatever way you want if it's not looking the way that you like. And for extra security, I did use just a standard thread and needle and just hand sew just a few stitches at that corner. And then you want to make the stem part, and you just fold up the extra wire and then just sort of twist it around. And there is your rose finish. I do show you one more time just on a smaller rose. So this time I didn't take as much ribbon, and I also cut off one of the wired ends just so it made it a lot more small than the other one. Once again, you want to fold twice on one of the ends and then take the other end and just start to scrunch that wire. Just like before, you want to take the folded end and just sort of wrap that right around to make your rose. This part is optional, obviously, but like I said before, I just did a few stitches just so it was a little bit more secure. And then I didn't get good footage of this next part, but I did this on all of the roses. You just want to take your wire and basically use it to thread along the bottom just for even more security so it stays nice and together. And then you just want to fold your wire and wrap it around just to make your stem. I made 12 roses, so 3 could go in each bottle, and then once I was done with that, the bottles were nice and dry. First thing I did was took this cord, and this is basically like twine, or it looks a lot like it. So I just wrapped that around the neck of one of the bottles. And then I tied a bow just to give it a little bit more decoration. And that is the first bottle decorated. For the second one, I took some of this burlap ribbon, and this one does not have any wire. I made a halfway mark and then tied it around the neck of the bottle, and then I did a really large bow. And that is the second bottle done. For the third bottle, I took more of that twine and just did a pretty large amount. Then I took that burlap ribbon with no wire and I measured out the neck of the bottle, and then I just placed that on top and then took the twine and just wrapped it randomly around the neck of the bottle. And this just keeps the burlap in place, otherwise you would have to hot glue it. Then once I got to the end, I just double knotted the twine, and then you can go ahead and cut off the extra. And that is the third bottle done. For the fourth and last bottle, I basically did the same thing. You just want to measure out the burlap around the neck of the bottle, cut out some twine, and the only difference this time was once I got toward the end, I just made a bow. And I did want the ends of the bow to be shorter, so I just cut those off. And that is your last bottle done. Then all you have to do is put your flowers inside of your bottles once they are where you want them to be in your room. So like I said, I just put 3 flowers in each of the bottles, and once I had them arranged how I wanted, I just took the wires and tightly wrapped them around one another so that the flowers just stayed nice and in place. And then once you have done that, your DIY project is done. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.